If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, can social anxiety make it harder for an adult to master a new language? Flickr/Benjamin Smith. I used to joke that I spoke French like a 3-year-old, says William Alexander, the writer. Until I met a French 3-year-old and could not hold up my end of the conversation. A. Full source, How to Overcome Shyness, The Ultimate 3-Step Guide, Moldita. Katie Nielsen, Chief Education Officer at Language Learning at Foxy, told us why the usual approach to language learning for high schoolers, college kids, and adults is less than magnifique. In history class, you start chronologically and you use dates in order of how things happened, Nielsen says. That's just not how language learning works. You can't memorize a bunch of words and rules and expect to speak the language, but then what you have is knowledge of language as object. You can describe the language, but you can't use it. While this sounds intuitive, it's not very functional. Adult brains are less able to pull off implicit learning than kids, who are more sponge-like in their information acquisition. Also, kids have better conditions. Nielsen notes that a child spends her first 2 years following around a person who explains everything to them all the time. What's worse, me? I do have a bias toward problem solving. We like to use logic to figure things out. That's why we gravitate to things like verb conjugation, Nielsen says, since it's satisfying to figure out the patterns and complete the fill-in-the-blank exercises. These are forms of drilling which cognitive science shows doesn't really spur learning. And they feel like learning, even though they aren't. If you go through and do a lot of verb conjugations and you're really good at putting verbs into the past perfect tense, Nielsen says, it doesn't mean if you want to have a conversation with someone, that you're going to use the past perfect tense appropriately. It's akin to starting out in music, with all its experimental messiness. Just like learning the guitar, you can't give universals for what people need to do in order to learn. You need to make a lot of mistakes, Nielsen says. You need to be real bad at it, and then it ends up working better, but it's messier. And that's different from how you usually learn in a classroom. We use language as a tool for communication in real life, Nielsen says. That's also how we should use it in the classroom. Find more answers and a free audiobook on how to talk to anyone in the description below. No useless advice like just get out there. I mean actual useful advice from people who have really dealt with shyness and social anxiety and overcome it in their own lives.